an economic program did not have a response. Karen Lewis does support the LaSalle Street tax, as does the teachers union. So it's kind of a mystery why Chuy Garcia hasn't adopted the tax. Other Chicago locals, Dan Albanese, Kyle McCarthy, Christian, and myself, are trying to lobby the Garcia campaign to adopt the LaSalle Street tax as its central issue. And Chuy Garcia has two more debates. The election is coming up really soon, and Garcia is not leading in the polls. Ron is right around high 40s, even tipping into low 50s, and Chuy is really just staying at the high to mid 30s.
Hang on, Emily. Hang on. The music is telling us we've got a hard break. We'll be right back, and we'll hear more from Emily Weber in Chicago.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
This is David Cordani, CEO of Cigna. For more than 20 years, Cigna has worked with the March of Dimes to address premature births in the U.S. Thank you for taking time to learn more about how you could support March for Babies in 2015. Premature births cause horrible suffering and cost billions of dollars each year. That's why Cigna is committed to raising funds and awareness through our employees, family, and friends to improve the health of moms and babies. Please join us in supporting the March for Babies. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org.
St. Patty's Day is coming soon to Guns80.com. My buddy Mark is rolling in clover since Guns80.com announced its clean and green sale. He used his leprechaun-like magical powers to get Guns80.com to offer us a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Now, for a limited time, when you order an AR-15 rifle kit, Guns80.com will toss in a cleaning kit and a tactical bipod pistol grip free, all for the low, low price of $449.95. Go to Guns80.com. That's Guns80.com.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the hosts you're listening to right now online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with a host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com. Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are G.
Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. It's already our last segment. We'll have to catch up on some of these other issues next week. We wanted to talk about the currency chaos of the last several days. Take a look at the website. Maybe we can write something up about that. But we've got this situation in Chicago. We're getting a report from Emily Webber. Emily, our view here from the Tax Wall Street Party was that if you look at de Blasio in New York, right, not our favorite guy, but if you want to see how he won, the elementary thing was that he had a mass traction populist economic issue, which in his case was universal pre-K, universal preschool, universal Head Start, paid for by a new tax on people earning over $500,000. Now, there are a number of things we could say about that, but that's how he won the New York election. And Chewy doesn't have an issue of that magnitude. Am I right?
That's absolutely correct, Webster. And it's quite ironic because Chewy should be winning this election. I mean, there's so much anger at Rahm. The city is just so frustrated. There's so much energy around anyone but Rahm. And Chewy should be riding this wave. I mean, if he had a single point that was as strong as the LaSalle Street tax, or even if he just had more, specific mass traction economic demands that he was making widely available, people would jump on the board. But it's just not happening.
But the other irony is, on the one hand, the Chicago Teachers Union with Karen Lewis is the biggest supporter of Chewy, as I can see, and they support the LaSalle Street tax, right? We have this very interesting speech made by Karen Lewis, May of last year. It's a full-fledged defense of the LaSalle Street tax, which comes not even in the form of a tax, but a fee. It's a fee on derivatives, contracts, futures, options, contracts traded, right? And remember, it's the Chicago Board of Trade, Chicago Board Options Exchange, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. That's the derivative center of the universe, and they don't pay anything, and it's unbelievable. So that's the one side. And then we're also told that there are a lot of aldermen, a lot of city council candidates who have been vociferously in favor of the LaSalle Street tax. Can you give us some insight into that part, the other candidates that want this?
Yes, it's true. I mean, there's been some movement on the issue. There are a number of aldermen who do support the tax. It's really kind of a mystery as to why it's not Garcia's central point. It's a mystery. I'm trying to find out. I'm going to be meeting with some people in the campaign today, and then I and the other Tax Wall Street Party Chicago local members are going to a meeting that the Chewy Garcia campaign is having tomorrow, and we will talk about that exactly, and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of what indeed Chewy Garcia's economic demands are and how close they approximate the LaSalle Street tax.
I would have to point you in the direction of the well-known Al Capone tradition there. In other words, the people involved in these derivatives speculators are not, let's say, they're not averse to making threats of violence against people who propose to curb their power.
I'll be on the lookout.
Well, it's the most obvious one, I'm afraid. Otherwise, what else should we know?
You should know that you can email the Chuy Garcia campaign with advice, and they read it. So I have an email address, and then anyone who wants to can send them an email saying that you support the LaSalle Street tax.
Great. Go ahead. Give it to us.
And it's tips at chicago4chewy.com. Again, that's the word tips, TIPS, at chicago4chewy.com. And so just
is that FOR?
Yes, FOR, chicago4chewy.com.
Okay.
So send an email. You can go on Twitter. You can go on Facebook. I mean, the more people, they have people in the campaign who watch these things. So basically, we're just trying to communicate with the campaign members and get them to realize that their campaign is about taxing financiers. It's about taxing bankers. And the LaSalle Street tax is an answer for what they're trying to do. So we just need to let them know this, and then they can take it from there.
I would also maybe point to the fact that the Chicago Teachers Union Local 1, which, as I understand it, is the leadership of the union, have put out a couple of tweets. You can see these on my Twitter, right? Webster G. Tarpley Twitter, that they, in one of them, dated March 18th, CTU Local 1 backs mass traction demand for the LaSalle Street tax. Where are you, Chicago mayor? And then there's another one mentioning the Tax Wall Street Party. So it looks like your efforts in particular are having some effect.
Yes, in conjunction with another party member from Kentucky, we've been able to kind of successfully move the Chicago Teachers Union Twitter campaign. And one of them was not just a retweet. The CTU Union tweeted at Tax Wall Street Party without initiative. So they know about the Tax Wall Street Party. They know some of our platform. And if we can consolidate efforts, blast their email inbox, blast their social media, Chicago locals will be on the floor here. We're handing out flyers, we're tabling, we're taking emails, we'll be talking with people, we'll be asking questions to the people speaking at their conference tomorrow, their meeting. So if we can get a lot of movement from party members at CTU and at the Chuy Garcia campaign now, it is possible that we can take back this election. Again, Garcia has 2 more debates, and if he mentions the Tax Wall Street Party in very specific terms, if he can, come across as having a real economic program, then we've got a shot.
Or the LaSalle Street tax. I mean, we're not going to, we'll take that too, right? In other words, the thing is, though, he's got to have something that proposes to shift the tax burden off of the masses and onto these derivative speculators. And I'm afraid he's talked in the past about reducing the pensions, right, and trying to argue to these policemen and firemen and other city employees, and that simply will not be acceptable, right? You've got to take it out of the hide of those derivatives mongers, because God knows they've got $1 quadrillion of derivatives going through their hands. $1 quadrillion, and they pay 0 in taxes. And this is impossible. So, Emily, that's a very impressive overview that you've got going there. What I'm wondering, maybe you could send a Twitter out that would tell when and where you're meeting tomorrow, because we have some supporters in that area. Maybe they'd like to come out and join you at that intervention. So why don't you? Maybe you want to say it now. We have a few seconds left. Where are you going to be on Saturday? But mainly for their Twitter, right? Because this program won't be out there until tomorrow afternoon, when you'll already be on the hustings.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow is the kind of big meeting for all the writers in Chicago who support the Garcia campaign. We'll be meeting at the headquarters of In These Times, which is a online news source. And we'll be talking with MacArthur Foundation winner Alexander Heyman, Sarah Paretsky. She does mystery novels. We're meeting with Carrie Litterson. This is the woman who wrote the book about Rahm Emanuel that's called Mayor 1%. We're meeting with Tom Geoghegan, who's the labor attorney who represented the CTU union. And all of these writers